Alrighty, this is Jared with Carbon Digital, and today we're talking about Agent First Draft and what you get with the website content package and how we can leverage that for better website content. So, right off the gate, that's for somebody else. Here we go. So, when you order the full package, this is what you get. You get your content folder, your SEO folder, and your social folder. So with your content, your website content, you get this SEO folder. And so each page and each service gets an SEO focused page. So you can see here we have content structure plugged in like that. Then we have our semantic terms and keywords that we would seek to leverage for each section. Section content breakdown, our story breakdown. So this gives you a lot of stuff to try to help you create better content. And so all of this is happening within these SEO research pages. And so here is what a service looks like. Similar setup. Here we have the web design service page, seed keywords, your SEO meta information is here. Then we have a page structure with semantic terms. So this is the type of stuff. If you were writing your own content, this would basically be like your outline or your intent or your brief to the writer of here's the type of stuff we want, right? So it has different sections, different headings and content categories and all that jazz, and that's beautiful. And then we also get this brand-based research file. So here we have the top 10 seed keywords. And then some keyword targeting information. We have these concepts of what to do next. After that, we have the known entities. This is all driven by Google's understanding of a page. After the known entities, it's talking about different platforms, email marketing platforms, advertising networks, different analytics platforms, different CMSs, different SEO tools. These are all the known entities that are related to the agency, to the company that you've provided. And then after that, we have that was previously that was known entities. Now we have related entities. So in the grand scheme of things, a known entity becomes a silo of content, and your related entities are connected to that. After we have these related entities, so all of these are different keywords that you want to try to connect yourself to. Then afterwards, we have the service keywords. Some of these are these are all going to be based off the services. You can see all of these are different things that you would want to tap into and leverage from a keyword perspective. Supporting keywords and long tail keywords of each section. So all of that is pretty baller on its own. But then we have the content. So we have the blog content, which I'll choose web design. For all of these, we are going to consistently get 4 to 5. Our target's 5. We need at least 3, but we're consistently getting 4 to 5. Even if I say, hey, give me 5, it's still going to produce 4 to 5. So this is what a blog post looks like. Here we have the meta information there. And then we have headings will sometimes look like this. Sometimes they'll look like this. So it just depends. Like it's not consistent, even though we say do it this way. They don't. But this is what your blog post would look like. So whenever you go post this into your blog post on your website, you're probably going to have to reformat these headings because sometimes they come out as a markdown heading and sometimes they come out like this. And either way, it's not going to be in the format that you want. So you're going to have to reformat those headings. Aside from that, though, the content that we're getting here is pretty amazing. So that is what a blog post looks like. And then beyond that, we have page content. So I'm going to show you what this looks like, and then I'm going to show you how to leverage it, okay? So for these pages, again, we're getting meta information. This is the actual content. So the structure that was defined within the SEO research side, that structure is here with actual written content. So you can see each section is labeled. Your H1s, H2s, or your headings are labeled. That's very useful. Different sections. We're also going to get in here. Sometimes we get FAQs and sometimes we don't. With this being an about page, I'm not surprised that we don't have FAQs. But nonetheless, that's pretty phenomenal that it does that. For services, let's pull up web design again. So here we have sections, headings, content. It utilizes a lot of different keywords on here that is directly tied to your service and your primary service. A lot of times we'll get these recommended CTA buttons in here type of thing. And then on this one, we didn't get it, but a lot of times we also get FAQs. And in the event that we don't get an FAQ, all we're going to do is open up ChatGPT, copy all of this, and say, please provide 5 to 10 FAQs for this content, and then content, and I put it in these backticks because that's what you do with code, but that's just my format that I use. And then from there, that's it. Boom. Now we have very solid FAQs. And then boom, come back to here. Boom, FAQs. Done. So if you don't get FAQs, which it's not a consistent thing that you always get, it's really easy to get them, right? So that's what that looks like. And then with the FAQs, I will actually take them. Here's a client site that I'm working on. I actually created an FAQs post type, and then I add them all in here. On this site, we have 102 FAQs. And the reason for that is because we have a custom category, and these categories are their different services. So when we get to a service location page, like so, these FAQs are pulled from the matching service. And that makes it stupid simple to try to put FAQs on a page. So not a hard thing to do, really cool, right? So that is what this content looks like. When it's time to actually put the content on the page, I don't even worry about how it's structured here. And the reason for that is because I have defined a process that works insanely consistently for everything that I do. Okay. And here's what that looks like. I go and I build out my first service location page, right? And then I'll take all the content and I will format it in a markdown document. Okay. So this, we actually have this one is the one that we actually have our template for right now. Services. Let's do, I don't even know what they are. Right. So you build the first one. This is on Breakdance, and this is using Headspin UI, which is why it's different. But we have text here, we have text here, we have text here, we have text here. So all of those different pieces of text get put into a markdown file, and I have them broken up by sections. Here is the title, here is our meta description for our section hero. There's that, and then that title is an H1, and then we have our paragraph, and then we have our list items, which are these here. And I take this entire page, all of that content, all of this content, that's the same, so I don't need it. This content here, I take all of that. For this one, I take all of this, and I take each one of these heading and content inside here. I take all of that and put it in there. I take this and I put it in there. Since these are generated from FAQs, I don't need to put that in there. And then this is this, and then the rest of this is the page title. So I don't actually have to put that in there either. This one here, I will put in there because that's not generated, it's static. These are blog posts that are all selected based off of the category, so I don't need those. And then this section here, I'll put in there. So you can even see. I actually even put in my list of icons, the different services there. I put in my next section for benefits. I describe what the sections are. There's review widgets. Here's the last one there. And I put all this in this document and I prep it, right? Now, because I have this has become a standard for whenever we're building this type of page using this type of format. This has basically just become a standard. So here is exactly what I do. I copy my format. I coded ChatGPT and I say, we have a content template format. Please put our page content in this format. Do not deviate from the format, as this is what our page structure will be. Very simple. Then I do my backticks. I paste in my format. And then below that, I go get my content. And then do content. And then 3 more backticks. Oops. There it is. Paste in my content like so. And then I hit go. So this thing is going to give me the exact copy and paste. Here, I'll open a new tab there. It's going to give me the exact thing that I need to copy and paste. Copy, paste. Okay? And all I got to do is look at it. If it looks like it doesn't match, then I tell it, hey, knucklehead, you didn't use our structure. And so this one even added a FAQ section, right? So that's not part of my format. Try again. You didn't follow our format. And it's going to redo it. It's going to follow the format. Sometimes it takes 2 or 3 times to run it to get working, but it's eventually going to do exactly what you wanted. You have to use our format for the output of content. This must be exact. Do it again. Here is our format and content. Format. Content. And it's still going to do our format. It's not rocket science. It doesn't take that long. Very fast. It's one of those things where you tell it enough times. Why did you add FAQs to our format? You didn't follow our format. Do it again. Boom. Now it looks like it's actually going to do what it's supposed to. The thing that I do is I pre-train this, and then I just keep using it over and over again. See, now that stops with the correct section. So copy, see, stops with the service area. Boom. So now I have the exact copy and paste content that's going to go in my page template, right? Professional web design in Jacksonville. Boom, goes up there. Part 2, the #1 trusted design in web design in Jacksonville. Boom. Right there. And that's exactly what you're going to do for page content. For the other pages that are not a template, like your about page type of thing, what you're going to have to do is something along these lines. So we're going to go to pages, about page. Now you can create a template and do the same thing. I'll go ahead and close that. But what I do, well, this is actually already pretty good. So what I would do is I would just create the sections that you want from here and then just cherry pick your content. That's very easy to do. Sometimes you get content that actually outputs with HTML or with Markdown, and that's a pain in the butt to deal with. So if that happens, just put it into ChatGPT like I did a moment ago and just tell it to prepare this content for copy and paste into a Word document, something like that. And that will give you what you're looking for. So that is exactly how we do all of this for our web copy, our web content. So if you have any questions, concerns, comments, complaints, send them over. We'll do what we can to help you guys out. And I really hope you guys are able to thrive with this type of content like we are doing, like our clients are doing. It's become an amazing thing to see the transformation in results by doing this and by leveraging this content. So we hope you guys see similar results and have similar experiences with it. Until next time, guys, take it easy.